A boy named Gilsu is bullied by a group headed by Kong and his gang in his new school he just transferred to. He finally awakens his fighting spirit as he fights back. He wakes up after being knocked out and plans to learn how to fight from the student president named Jang. The school president has banned bullying inside of the school and has organized a place in which the school uses as a fighting ground. The scene continues from the time when the student president named Jang is seen punching Gilsu to help him gain some endurance. He relieves his past as he remembers his time from middle school. He is hit with a slipper by 3 of his classmates. They apologize as Gilsu forgives them. They see Gilsu as an easy target and they start to bully him. They start to take his lunch money every time he comes to school. Back to the present. We see Gilsu touching the place he got punched by Jang. He meets his friend named Jin as they walk together. They meet Kong and his boys, the guys that use the fighting arena to beat up kids for fun. Kong comes closer to Gilsu and tells him to watch his back because the next time they step into the fighting arena, he would leave him half dead. Gilsu tells to himself with an intense look that he would become strong so that he doesn't lose to guys like Kong again. Fast forward during break time. We see Gilsu punched in the face. He takes another blow in his stomach. Jang asks Gilsu to open his eyes when he is getting punched. Jang tells Gilsu to avoid going to the fighting arena until he finishes his training. Gilsu takes a right hook in the face. He takes a left one and finally a kick to the face. We see Kong in the fighting arena with his opponent on the ground. He goes to his boys and asks them of Gilsu. They say they haven't seen him. Kong stands for a while when he grins, indicating that he is plotting something evil. Gilsu is seen jogging in the evening. A biker bumps into Gilsu as he gets off the bike. The biker's friends surround Gilsu as they say that Gilsu had scratched their bike. The biker that came down goes closer to Gilsu and punches him in the jaw. Gilsu kneels as he's shocked that he didn't feel scared. He says to himself that, compared to Jang's punches, the biker's punches are very weak. The biker holds Gilsu by the hair as Gilsu slaps the biker's hands away. He throws a punch at the biker with all his might, thinking that he had won. The biker takes Gilsu's hands and smiles, asking Gilsu that was his best punch. Gilsu realizes that he hadn't learned how to throw a punch. He is seen throwing punches with no power at the biker. He is kicked by the biker in the face. The other guys hold Gilsu's hands as the biker wears a brass knuckle. He throws a punch as we see someone flying in midair. The person lands his knee on the biker as he lands. We see him to be Jin, Gilsu's friend, as he smiles. An opponent attacks from behind as Jin steps to the side. He punches the attacker in the face, causing blood to spill. Another comes at Jin with a stick. Jin closes the range and punches the attacker in the jaw, causing him to pass out. Gilsu is seen surprised at Jin's strength. The bikers realize that they messed with the wrong students. Gilsu is from the Six Gates High School, a school that accepts violence in a fighting arena. The bikers leave as Gilsu is seen talking with Jin. Jin mocks Gilsu for his punches as Gilsu is embarrassed. We see Kong and his boys smoking by a bonfire. They plan to beat up all the kids that only come to the fighting arena just to watch to cause them to avoid coming there. This is the plan to destroy the concept of the fighting arena and encourage bullying in the school. Back to the fighting arena. We see that Kong has brutally beaten up another nerd in the school. Jang, the school president, pats Kong on the shoulder, warning him not to do anything stupid. We see Jang training Gilsu. Gilsu manages to block a punch when he counters. Jang dodges as we see him mad because the punches Gilsu is throwing are useless. He punches Gilsu harder than usual in the stomach as we see him vomiting. Jang takes Gilsu to an odd building. They see a punching machine as Jang shows Gilsu the 1-2 combo. Gilsu gets ready to try it. He throws the punch when he realized that the score was the same. Jang says that the machine had been broken. He further tells Gilsu that, until he scores 100 on the punching machine, he shouldn't bother trying to find him. We see Jin's friend looking at his phone. Park, A member of Kang's gang hits Jin's friend to the ground. They leave as Jin comes to help his friend. Gilsu is seen eating in the cafeteria. Park intentionally pours food on him and pretends to be a mistake. He hits Gilsu on the back when Gilsu holds Park's hand. Park intimidates Gilsu when Jin sends his food flying. It hits Park's face as he screams. Park screams and curses at Jin for throwing the food at him. They talk to themselves as they agree to settle it in the fighting arena. We see Jin and Gilsu talking whilst washing their hands. Jin says that Kong and his boys have been targeting weak people in the arena and beating them up. Gilsu asks Jin why he is going that far to save the fighting arena. That's when Jin starts to tell his history. A few years back, Jin was a fat boy. His classmates used to bully him by tying him up by a pillar and drawing all sorts of nasty things on him. One day, a man came to save him from the bullies, and the bullies run away. The man turned out to be a boxing gym owner. Jin tried boxing for a while and got addicted to the sport. He started shedding fat and his body became ripped. After Jin was a master in boxing, he went back to school and got revenge on the guys that bullied him. Back to the present, we see the fight between Jin and Park about to begin. Park is seen throwing tantrums at Jin as the fight begins. Park throws a left straight as Jin slips to the left. Park throws more blows as Jin keeps slipping them. Jin counters with a straight left as the crowd go wild. Jin continues to throw jabs as Park is seen on the defensive. Park throws a straight left one more time when Jin blocks it with his right arm. Park moves lower to dodge a punch, but gets hit with an uppercut to the chin, causing him to bleed in the mouth. The crowd goes wild again as they say that Park's winning streak is going to be broken this time. We see Jin continuously slipping, weaving, and dodging Park's punches. Park is seen frustrated as Jin starts to mock him. Jin measures the range with a jab and lands a big right on Park's face, causing him to fall to the ground. Park gets on his feet as he breathes heavily. He sees the look on Kang's face as he decides to fight properly. He then does a Muay Thai stance, the art of 8 limbs. Next on King of Violence, we see that Jin cannot take on the full force of Park's kicks. He also starts kicking, but it proves of no use. Park throws another kick, almost hitting Jin's face. Will Jin be able to defeat Park? Subscribe to the channel to not miss out on the last part of this recap. This is incredible recap. Stay safe.